The mistake two for me is buying a home without knowing what all comes with having a home. Of course, when I was going through the process, me and my wife was going through the process, we obviously knew rent, mortgage, utilities, things like that, right? You got to mow your own grass, you're going to do this, X, Y, and Z. Now, one thing I did not know at the time was how expensive it was to maintain a home, to keep it in, good condition. It's very expensive because anything breaks, it's on you. I didn't know that, if whoever you're going through your insurance with, your homeowners insurance, if something were to happen with that company and the premiums go up, that does affect, that definitely affects your mortgage. Looking back at it now, I'm like, that obviously makes sense. But again, like at the time of buying a house, I didn't really think of it that way. I was just thinking of not paying 1,800 in rent for a townhouse, so I rather just own a house. It was kind of my thought process. Another thing is taxes. So one, yeah, you can write off the some of your house with the interest that you pay throughout the year, but I did not know that you can't take that with the standardized deduction. It has to be itemized. So when you're going to file your taxes, you still want to keep your tax information for your house that year. But if you're doing the standard deduction, then you're not entering your house information. You have to itemize your deductions for that. Didn't know that. But also didn't know the just random payments that you have to pay throughout the year to to your county, and items like that. Like I didn't really know that until now, and those can get pretty expensive, especially depending on where you live. Those can be pretty expensive. So on top of the home improvements, on top of the home maintenance, and then on top of the taxes that you would have to pay to your county, it tends to really add up, right? So you have to just be mindful for that. So that's why when people say they rent, like it's like, okay, cool. There's nothing wrong with renting. It's just not a long-term play. But if you're doing it short-term to get to your house, then that's smart. Like, I took the, zero down payment first time home buyers, and I kind of wish I would have done it differently. But it worked out because we bought our house during COVID. So when we bought our house during COVID, we got obviously a really good deal because basically a lot of people were getting really solid deals on homes. So it kind of worked itself out that way. But going to my next home, going through the process once, I already know one, I'm gonna take my time because if I do buy another home, it's going to be something that I want to stay in forever. Um, I'm gonna look into the zoning. I'm gonna look if it has HOA because I'm personally not a fan of having HOA. I can mow my own grass, I can shovel my own stuff, and I don't like paying that much for getting permission to do something around the house. So I'm personally not a fan of HOA. Obviously be prepared for closing costs, be prepared for a down payment. So I actually want to have a down payment, a pretty nice chunk of a down payment for my next home. So, buying my first home, it definitely taught me a few things. So, it's just a matter of making sure you have money set aside and money in reserves. So that way, when you do go buy your next home, you can get in at a lower mortgage payment monthly if you put the nice sizable down payment while having money on the side for, repairs, fixes, and upkeep. So whether you need a new roof or if you need new HVAC, so these are things that, you got to kind of be prepared for. So, buying the home necessarily hasn't been a bad thing for me just because, how much equity we've built in just a short amount of time in the home. Just with the growth of the area, just with, buying it at the COVID price compared to what houses are going for today. So overall, like the purchase hasn't been bad. So I know going into next time that I have to do my research and actually be prepared when it comes to buying a second home, if that's the route that we take.